Hey everyone, Reese here and welcome back to ctrl-alt-rees. In this video, which will be the first of what should hopefully become something of a semi-regular thing on this channel, I'm going to be taking a look at a game from my childhood. So to kick things off, I want to take a look at this, the 3D motorcycle racing extravaganza that is Moto Racer, developed by Delphine, no, not that one, French developer Delphine Software, and published by EA in 1997. As an aside, Delphine were probably best known for the excellent Flashback from 1992 and its 3D sequel Fade to Black, released in 1995. Oh, and Another World, of course. So based on their other output, I think it's safe to say that we can expect great things. Now, just before I get started, I'd just like to thank Sad Kenneth on the back office Discord server for reminding me of this game, which is one that I hadn't even thought about since I was 13 years old, and I've spent the past couple of days really getting back into it, so thanks! So I have the boxed copy here, but this isn't actually the one that I'm going to be playing. You see, the way that I and many others were introduced to Moto Racer was by means of the Matrox Mystique 220 graphics card, which included this game bundled in the box. Now, funnily enough, I actually found that very card in a box of computer stuff that I rescued from my parents' house a couple of years ago, and I haven't had a chance to try it yet. So what better opportunity to get the old girl fired up again? I still have my MMX233 system here, fresh off the back of my S3 Verge video, and this is the absolute perfect match for this card, so let's swap that out. I've also heard that the Mystique version of Moto Racer can crash if there's a Voodoo card installed, so I'll remove my Righteous 3D for now, but don't worry, it'll be straight back in once this experiment is over. So after all that, what is Moto Racer all about? Well, it's a motorbike racing game, obviously, that features a good mix of track and off-road racing, multiplayer support via LAN, internet connection, oh yes, even back in 97, modem and serial, and in the case of this OEM bundle, an optimised direct 3D renderer for the Matrox Mystique. That's right, it's not using the Mystique's proprietary MSI 3D renderer, but it has been tweaked for this card and it certainly shows.
Play solo. Select your mode.
The game offers practice, single race and championship modes, with 4 tracks unlocked initially and a further 4 to unlock as that championship mode progresses.
Select your race.
I will point out that this game's notoriously difficult, and I'm not ashamed to admit that as I'm a little out of practice, I am playing it in easy mode here. I'm also using my trusty Gravis gamepad, just like I did back in the day. Unfortunately, that means I don't have enough buttons to be able to change gear, but to be honest, I always went with automatic anyway, so it's not a deal breaker. Okay, so the draw distance is perhaps a little bit on the short side with plenty of pop-in, but that's just how things were in those days, and the game more than makes up for it with those lovely crisp polygons and that fast-paced action. Moto Racer also has a trick up its sleeve in the form of, well, tricks. These come in the form of a dedicated button that pulls an epic wheelie on the road tracks, as well as some daredevil stunts on the off-road motocross courses. These give you a nice speed boost, particularly when accelerating, and as long as you time them correctly so that you don't hit anything, they're a pretty safe bet for getting a one-up on the competition. I was a big fan of the motocross tracks as a kid, particularly Snow Ride, and Delphine did a great job of making this one feel appropriately slippery and icy without making it completely impossible. They also released 2 tracks for free on their website at the time. That's right, free DLC. It's even compatible with this bundled version. I actually didn't know about these back in the day, so they were fun to check out. The first track, Funfair, is a very high-speed road track and a real challenge for the fastest bikes, and I can highly recommend it. It's a great feeling linking turns in quick succession, particularly on the digital and, let's be honest, rather clunky Gravis gamepad. The second DLC track is Sea of Sand, which starts off on a nice wide beach with waves lapping at our toes and sees us bouncing wildly over sand dunes before too long. It's a long track and tricky to memorise, so again a great challenge for anyone who's completed the game and looking for a bit more to get their teeth into. On that note, anyone who did manage to complete the championship mode, or as in my case, blatantly cheated by entering these codes on the name entry screen, was rewarded with even more functionality, including the ability to race tracks in reverse, effectively doubling the number of tracks, and the rather crazy pocket bike mode. As perhaps could be expected, this mode sees players tearing around on tiny little pocket bikes, and the handling is as bouncy and twitchy as you'd expect. It's a lot less frustrating on the road tracks, but for a real challenge I'd recommend trying it out on the Great Wall of China, as shown here. So just a few other highlights before I wrap this up. There's the commentator who gets overexcited when you pull off a particularly gnarly stunt, or mocks you when you get anything other than a podium finish. And I'm sure you've also noticed the soundtrack, with its high energy heavy guitar riffs and pumping techno bass lines. Sadly, Delphine Software went bust in 2004, but not before giving us a whole raft of excellent sequels. I hope you enjoyed this trip down memory lane. Of course, if you have any memories of your own to share, please do let me know down in the comments. So as always, thank you very much for joining me, and I'll hopefully see you again next time.